The exam results came out. I scored just 1 point. And that was only because I accidentally wrote solution on my maths paper. Mom went insane. My sister went insane. But I laughed. In my previous life, my sister used a score-swapping system to exchange our results. She was effortlessly fought over by Tsinghua and Peking University, while I, the consistent top-ranked student, not only ended up in a vocational college, but was also expelled from my school's register. My sister even came to comfort me. Elder sister, all the factories are short-handed now. Going to tighten screws on an assembly line is a sweet deal. This life, in the Gaokao examination hall, I slept from start to finish. You want to swap? Then let's swap thoroughly. Congratulations on binding with the life exchange system. Please select your target for exchange. My elder sister, Eleanor. What do you wish to exchange with her? Our Gaokao scores. Outside the door, I heard my name without any surprise. Inside, my dear younger sister, Chloe, was ecstatic about using the system to swap scores with me. After all, I had ranked first in every exam for 3 years of sixth form. The undisputed top student, in several citywide mock exams during upper sixth, I scored over 700. I was the only one who could solve all the major maths and science questions. My classmates were no longer my competition. My goal was to aim for the best programs at Tsinghua and Peking University. And my sister Chloe? She simply wasn't cut out for studying. Sometimes her total score for 7 subjects was lower than my score for just 1. Mom was very worried about her results and asked me to tutor her. I had spent vast amounts of time coaching my sister, sacrificing my own revision time to create mistake worksheets for her, buying her snacks and pretty dresses to motivate her. But it was all largely ineffective. She couldn't stomach the hardship of studying, always complaining she was tired after a short while and wheedling me to let her off. She also loved asking me, Eleanor, isn't there some easy way? Something so I don't have to study, but can still score as high as you in the Gaokao? Back then, I laughed at her daydreaming. Little did I know a system would descend from the heavens and actually grant her wish. In my previous life, my sister bound herself to the life exchange system and swapped away my Gaokao score. The 723 marks instantly made her the top scorer in the city. Not only did she receive school and municipal level bonuses, made the headlines of local news, but she also had admissions officers from Tsinghua and Peking University fighting desperately over her. And I got her score to 113 marks. For her, it was an exceptional result. But for me, it was the sky falling. I scoured all the admissions guides, but could only apply to vocational technical colleges in the far suburbs. My alma mater, which had always seen me as its pride, expelled my student records from the school because my score was too low. My mom was ashamed to mention me to relatives and friends, and her attitude towards me at home was frosty. Overnight, I went from being the child other parents praised to a laughingstock. Like a rat running across the street, some even reported me to the head teacher, suspecting my results over the 3 years had been faked. On the day, the school teachers thoroughly investigated my secondary school grades. I jumped from the top floor of the school building. After I died, the school, finding me an ill omen, simply struck my name from their records. My mom, also feeling I had deeply shamed her, told outsiders she only had one daughter, Chloe. Reborn, I understood it was all the doing of Chloe in that system. But the system had its conditions. It asked Chloe, for this exchange, what are you prepared to offer as sacrifice? I am willing to sacrifice 10 years of my life. Chloe's voice trembled with excitement. Outside the door, I smiled faintly. Dear sister, since you're willing to trade 10 years of your life for my results, then I must certainly do my very best in the exam. I was watching videos in my room when someone knocked. Chloe poked her head in and stuck out her tongue playfully. Eleanor, are you revising? Mom asked me to bring you some fruit. She placed the fruit plate on the desk but noticed I wasn't reading at all. She panicked and accused me loudly. Elder sister, the Gaokao isn't half a month. How can you still be watching variety shows here? I took off my headphones and retorted. Why not? Chloe forced a smile. Of course, it's fine. Studying should involve a balance of work and rest. But sister, you need to be clear-headed. Don't let these things distract you. Her expression was dreadful. The so-called fruit delivery was really just to check on me. She had traded 10 years of her life for my Gaokao score, so of course she needed to ensure I did well. Sister, watch for a bit and then study, alright? I'm worried Mom will tell you off if she finds out. I ignored her. She hung her head and left. Shortly after Chloe left, Mom came into my room. She sighed, her tone somewhat reproachful. Chloe was just concerned about you. You're the elder sister. Why were you so harsh with her? I was baffled. Harsh? When was I harsh with her? Recalling the interaction, I had only said 3 words to her. Mom quickly waved her hand. It's nothing. Forget I mentioned it. Seeing me watching videos, she couldn't help nagging. What sort of time is this to be watching? Such frivolous things? Turn it off now. But since you have time to watch videos here, why can't you spare some time to tutor Chloe? Are her results not important too? When I remained silent, Mom directly snatched my tablet. Why are you being so disobedient, pretending to be deaf and dumb? When I'm talking to you, let me tell you, even though Chloe isn't your biological sister, we are still a family. Ultimately, our family owes her. You must help her. Owes her. Must help her. I never saw it that way. Chloe is the daughter of my late father's best friend. My father was driving Chloe's parents when they had a car accident on the motorway. All three died. My mom adopted Chloe. She always felt her family was responsible for the death of Chloe's family. Out of guilt, Mom indulged her every whim, sometimes treating her better than me, her own daughter. Mom always said, Chloe lost her family because of us, we must compensate her. In my previous life, brainwashed by my mom's perspective, I also thought I should treat Chloe like a real sister. At school, I protected her if anyone said a bad word about her. I'd roll up my sleeves and confront them. At home, I gave her all the best things. If she fancied my new clothes, I'd hand them over without a second thought. I thought this would make her feel the warmth of family. But now I see. Ours was a story of the farmer and the snake, of to rear a viper in one's bosom. Mom, I make time to tutor her every day. It's her who doesn't want to learn. How can anyone learn for her? Mom frowned. That's not the point. Even if she doesn't want to learn, if you use better methods, she'll surely get into it. Mom patted me on the back. Stop watching these videos and go help your sister. I should have realized it sooner. Mom's favoritism towards Chloe had long reached a pathological level. Soon it was Gaokao day. Early in the morning, Chloe came to wake me up, checked all my documents, even inspecting my spare pencil leads 3 times. My mom was deeply touched seeing this. Eleanor, look how good your sister is to you. She hasn't even sorted her own things yet. Her heart is entirely focused on you. Her elder sister. Chloe lowered her head, blushing. Mom, it's what I should do. Sister's results are so good, she's bound to get high marks. Her words moved Mom almost to tears. She hugged and kissed her. Chloe, you're so wonderful. You're also Mommy's pride. Chloe demurred. Mom, I'm not that great. At least I'm not as good as Eleanor. My results are too poor. Not like sister, always ranked first. Mom hugged her and stroked her hair. Oh, Eleanor is just a bit better at studying, that's all. In every other way, she falls short of you. You're kind and considerate, like a warm little coat. Sometimes I really feel you're my biological daughter. After being Mom's biological daughter for over a decade in the end, I was less dear than a substitute. I shook my head and smiled, turning to leave for the exam center. Chloe's voice rang out behind me. Eleanor, you must do your best. Of course I would do my best. For my dear sister. In the exam hall, I let out a big yawn and then, under the astonished gazes of everyone, lay my head on the desk and slept. I've been staying up too late binge-watching shows lately. I was really tired. In my previous life, for the sake of grades, I didn't just avoid variety shows. I didn't even watch television. In my teens, the age most loved to have fun, I forced myself to become a study machine. I wanted to make my mom proud, to become a daughter she could boast about. I never imagined it would all end up benefiting someone else. For this life, I've completely let go, and honestly, it feels really great. Halfway through my sleep, an invigilator shook me awake. She looked concerned and whispered, "Student, this is a Gaokao." I nodded to show I understood, seeing I still showed no intention of writing. She reminded me tactfully again, "You should probably write something besides your name and candidate number." I followed her advice, sat up, and opened the exam paper. It happened to be the maths exam. I solemnly wrote the character for solution next to a major problem. After writing it, I was tired again, so I lay back down and slept. I heard the invigilator sigh, and the shocked gasps of other candidates in the hall. On results day, Chloe was more nervous than I was. During the time after the exams, she kept trying to find out how I thought I'd done, even going to my form tutor to ask about my estimated score. Learning that I estimated over 700 gave her immense relief. But the most important thing was today. She didn't even want to check her own score, just sat slightly behind me, waiting to see my results. I asked her, "Chloe, how do you think you did?" She said, "Not bad. I wrote something for every question." I nodded. "That's good." The better she did, the higher my score would be. At noon sharp, I entered my candidate number. When the result appeared on the computer screen, Chloe jumped up from her chair in shock. 1 point? You only got 1 point. I looked at that lone one and laughed. So writing solution really does get you a mark? Wrong, it's all wrong. How could you possibly only get 1 point? The jumping Chloe was on the verge of crash. She paced back and forth, clutching her hair fiercely, looking at my result again and again, unwilling to accept it. But horizontally or vertically, it was still just the number 1. My mom was also stunned, stammering, "Eleanor, Is this really what you got? I nodded, yeah. Always coming first. I fancied trying what bottom place tastes like for once. Eleanor, are you mad? Chloe shouted at me, unable to control herself. This is the Gaokao, the exam that decides your entire life. Didn't you estimate 700? What is this 1 point about? Her roars even shocked my mom that it was the first time Mom had seen such a hysterical mask off Chloe. I raised an eyebrow at her. I never told anyone my estimated score. How did you know? Chloe choked. She opened her mouth, stammering I for ages without managing a word. Just then, Mom suddenly pointed at Chloe's face and cried out, "Ah, Chloe, your face, your face." Chloe immediately covered her face. What's wrong with my face? She flew into the bathroom. Soon, a scream like a stuck pig came from inside. At the same moment, the score on my computer silently changed. The exchange was complete. On the computer screen, my score had become to 113. Chloe also charged out of the bathroom. The skin on her face had become slack. Many yellowish-brown spots appeared on her cheeks, and the wrinkles on her neck multiplied. She had lost 10 years of her life, instantly aging from 18 to 28. Simultaneously, Chloe's phone also received a notification SMS. Mom saw it and was greatly alarmed. Chloe, how did you also get 1 point? Hearing this, Chloe snatched the phone. I corrected Mom. Mom, I didn't get 1 point. I got over to 100. Mom leaned closer to the computer screen and saw my 1 had become to 113. She rubbed her eyes, unable to believe it. What on earth is going on? I shrugged, don't know. Maybe the system glitched. Chloe suddenly screamed, smashing her phone heavily on the floor. Her eyes were bloodshot, looking at me as if she wanted to swallow me whole. Eleanor, you set me up. You're trying to kill me. I blinked innocently. Chloe, what are you talking about? I don't understand. Chloe pointed at me, her fingers shaking with rage. But she couldn't say she had swapped scores, so she had to swallow the broken teeth. I will never let you get away with this. Chloe hurled this threat and rushed out of the house with her 28-year-old face. Chloe. Mom was desperate, chasing after her, calling her name. Unable to catch Chloe, Mom turned to blame me. What have you done to Chloe? How did she suddenly become like that? She didn't even care much about my score of over to 100, urgently urging me. Go check on your sister. If anything happens to her, I won't be able to live either. After swapping scores with Chloe, I became the laughing stock of the whole school. On the day we returned to school, teachers sighed and shook their heads at me. Classmates whispered, mocking me behind my back. Eleanor was always so arrogant, never putting others in her eyes. Serves her right now, showing off too much. Only getting over to 100 points. From first place to last. How does she have the nerve to call herself a top student? Were we all deceived by her? Could her previous results have been problematic? How can you lose 500 points just from underperforming, like in my previous life? Rumors and gossip assailed me like a storm, but this time I was fully prepared. The head teacher sighed repeatedly in front of me, saying they had received many reports from students alleging my results over the 3 years were falsified, and demanding an investigation into my past papers. I shrugged, unconcerned. Investigate away. The investigation concluded there were no issues. For a few mock exams final questions, even the teachers couldn't solve them, only I could. That was undeniable. But this outcome was even harder for some to bear. The head teacher anxiously slapped his thigh. Student Eleanor, what on earth were you thinking during the Gaokao? I contacted the invigilator from your exam hall. She said you didn't even answer the questions properly. You were sleeping. Have you lost your mind? This was the Gaokao. By ruining your future like this, no one can help you. Leaving the head teacher's office, I saw my favorite form tutor shaking his head and sighing as he walked away. He wasn't even willing to come and speak to me. Well, I had truly disappointed him too. Back home, Mom complained about me incessantly. She wiped tears while crying. Chloe only scoring 1 point is mostly your responsibility. If you had cared a bit more about her, she wouldn't have scored so low. You not doing well in the Gaokao is heaven's punishment. Your comeuppance, you deserve it. Chloe had been sulking and hadn't come home for days. Mom blamed everything on me. I took out the admissions guide, wanting to discuss university choices with her. But she knocked the manual away. Your sister is missing, and you're here worrying about your applications? Do you have any conscience at all? I picked up the manual expressionlessly. Mom, she's not missing. She just posted on Moments. She's putting on a brave face, not wanting us to worry too much. Eleanor, how can you be so heartless? She's your sister. How can you not care about her at all? Mom pointed outside, giving me an ultimatum. Go out and find her now. If you can't find her, don't bother coming back either. I looked at the pouring rain outside, then at Chloe's serene post on Moments. Fine, I'll go look. I walked through the storm and, unsurprisingly, fell ill. This illness even caused me to miss the university application deadline. Mom, resentful that I hadn't brought Chloe back, didn't want to care for me and went out herself to search. My good friend Sonia came to see me. Seeing me weak with fever, her heart ached and tears fell. What are we going to do, Eleanor? Now you can't even get into a vocational college. Once the application system closes, no one, not even the highest authority, will reopen it. During my feverish sleep, no one had even reminded me about the crucial application deadline. I managed a weak smile. Who says I'm going to a vocational college? Why should I attend a poor college based on the rubbish score Chloe earned? Sonia was confused. I whispered a few words in her ear, and her eyes immediately lit up. Great, that's much better than a vocational college. At the same time, she brought me explosive news. Chloe had become famous, an internet celebrity. All because of that one point this year. Authorities strictly forbade media from interviewing top scorers. Journalists, lacking material, were frustrated when they heard about a student in our school who scored 1 point. Scoring 0 in the Gaokao is common, high scores are common. But precisely scoring 1 point, not so common. They immediately grabbed their equipment and found Chloe, facing the camera. Chloe was initially resistant but then suddenly agreed to the interview. When the reporter asked how she managed to score just 1 point, Chloe lowered her head and smiled. I didn't expect it either. So writing solution really gives you a mark. The image of a seemingly silly, dazed high school girl, shy flustered before the camera, combined with the 1 point gimmick, grabbed everyone's attention. This scene was uploaded to Douyin and instantly went viral. In less than half a day, views surpassed 10 million. Netizens initially didn't believe she only scored 1 point, thinking it was a publicity stunt. Chloe immediately opened social media accounts on major platforms, posting her results slip online. Caption, not kidding, really 1 point. Netizens found it hilarious. Someone really scored 1 point. Chloe quickly followed up with a video. Facing the camera, she pouted slightly, looking wronged. Actually, I worked really hard. I wrote answers for every multiple choice question. Who knew I'd only get 1 point in the end? Hashtag, but this proves it. Writing solution on maths problems really gets you a mark. I recommend everyone write solution for every major problem first. You can earn points that way. Having attempted the whole paper but ending up with 1 point, this was truly a rare talent. Soon, various memes about Chloe emerged. Hashtag IDIDNT mean to get 1 point. Hashtag master of avoiding correct answer. GAOKO last placer teaches you how to score in just 3 days. Chloe gained hundreds of thousands of followers across the internet. She built her persona as a well-meaning but useless, sweet, airheaded high school graduate. Leveraging the 1 point Gaokao buzz, she gets fans rapidly. Combined with her pretty face, she was dubbed the 1 point goddess after Sonia showed me Chloe's accounts. She was very worried about my state. Eleanor, Chloe doesn't even need university now. With these followers, she can achieve financial freedom. Who knew scoring 1 point could be such a great thing? As she spoke, a new notification popped up. Donghu Private University intends to invite the 1 point goddess to enroll. Tuition free. Direct admission. Sonia was collapsed. This is insane. Why is Donghu University inviting her to study for free? I smiled. Others didn't know the truth, but I did. Chloe returned home, full of pride and glory. She was now a hot internet celebrity on Douyin. Her university plan settled, just waiting for the admission letter. Mom was overjoyed. Her eyes narrowed to slits, telling everyone she had a wonderful daughter. As for me, I was long forgotten. Approaching the time for admission letters to be sent, Mom held a celebration banquet for Chloe at the best hotel in the city. Attendees included not only family and friends but also teachers and classmates from school. Chloe had become a legend at school. Many younger students came, even asking for her autograph. Around noon, just before the banquet started, Chloe waved me over, calling me to the restroom. Eleanor, pack all these things up for me. She pointed to the array of cosmetics on the sink. Because she had swapped scores with me, her face now looked 28. To appear young and beautiful, she had to pile on makeup desperately. Seeing me obediently packing for her, Chloe sneered. Eleanor, look at you now. So pathetic. Your proud grades are gone. Your dream of a good university is shattered. Look at this celebration banquet Mom prepared for me today. It probably cost the family fortune. You have nothing left. I stopped what I was doing, looked up and smiled. And you? What do you have left? Chloe's face changed. What do you mean? Those hundreds of thousands of followers, you swapped for them too, right? I remember you used to hang out and know a big influencer lately. I've seen her follower count plummet. All swapped to you, right? Chloe's face turned pale. She stopped applying blush. I continued. The offer from Donghu Private. Where did you swap that from? Probably cost you quite a bit too, right? Chloe narrowed her eyes, lowering her voice to demand. How do you know all this? Of course I knew because I have made preparations from the first day I was reborn, including planting a small listening device in her room. All her conversations with the system, everything she swapped, I knew. Seeing me smile without answering, Chloe forced a grimace. Eleanor, you're so clever. Then do you know I'm going to swap for something very important of yours? I frowned. What thing? Chloe's smile widened. I'm going to swap your identity. Take everything from you. The celebration banquet officially began on the stage. The master of ceremonies stood between Mum and Chloe, extolling the moving affection between mother and daughter. Mum cried, "The proudest thing in my life is having a good daughter like Chloe." I suddenly understood. Chloe wanted to swap my identity as a biological daughter. She wanted to replace me as Mum's daughter. On stage, Chloe also cried, "Mum, you have always been my most beloved mother." The two embraced amidst thunderous applause from below. It seemed everyone had forgotten that I was my mum's real daughter. Hey everyone. I'm live streaming from the celebration banquet of the famous 1 Point Goddess. Likes and follows, please. A streamer was holding her phone, pointed at Chloe. I recognized her. She was the influencer whose followers Chloe had swapped. Because Chloe was so hot lately, the streamer's live viewership soared, and her follower count skyrocketed. I noticed that as the streamer gained followers, Chloe was steadily losing them. It seemed swapped things could be won back. On stage, Chloe suddenly raised the microphone and said, "Actually, I owe my achievements today to my sister, Eleanor." Even though she underperformed in the Gaokao, only scoring over 100 points, missed the application deadline, and now has no university to attend. She will always be my best sister, Eleanor. Please come up and say a few words. Your most respected teachers and favorite classmates are all here. In the banquet hall, countless eyes instantly focused on me. The streaming influencer also shifted her camera towards me. Chloe wanted me to make a fool of myself, but I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. "Sister, why don't you tell everyone how you went from 700 to over 100 points? The school invested so many resources in you. Your form tutor neglected his own child to tutor you. After scoring like this, what do you have to say to them? Oh, and Mum, she pinned all her hopes on you. Do you think you've lived up to her expectations?" Chloe's 3 questions silenced the banquet hall. Smiling, she had pushed me onto the execution platform, facing judgment from all sides. My classmates below looked at me with disgust. My form tutor turned his face away. Even my mum pursed her lips and avoided my gaze. I took the microphone from Chloe, cleared my throat, and asked, "And what about you, Chloe Kong? After freeloading in our family for so many years and then stabbing us in the back, have you lived up to us?" When I called her by her original surname, Kong, Chloe's eyes widened. "What nonsense are you talking? When did I stab you in the back? Don't slander me." I took out my phone and started reading. October 1st, so annoyed today. The Lin family old woman nagged me again to study hard. Study my foot. I'm not her biological child. Why does she bother me so much? When will this nagging old hag shut up? November 9th, the old woman asked her daughter to tutor me. I pretended not to understand. Made her daughter explain one problem for 2 hours. The old woman even blamed her daughter for being useless. Haha, a family of idiots. The old woman cried and apologized to me again, said she was sorry to my parents, would definitely treat me like her own daughter. Who wants a stupid mum like her? So ridiculous. I put down my phone and smiled slightly. These are all from your alt social media account. You thought we wouldn't know. But walls have ears. Mum treated you like her own daughter, never shortchanged you in food, clothing, or spending all these years. This celebration banquet was paid for with her pension. And this is how you repay her? My words caused an uproar in the room. The influencer's live stream broadcast everything in real time. In the live chat, netizens started blasting Chloe. "Wait, this girl's character is so low. How does she call herself a goddess? What's so glorious about scoring 1 point? Why does someone like this get famous? Her host family treated her so well, like their own, and she doesn't even understand gratitude. Two-faced, so disgusting." Chloe started losing followers rapidly, while the influencer's follower count surged back. Delighted, and to boost the popularity further, the influencer shouted right there at the scene, "I can testify, Eleanor isn't lying. When Chloe hangs out with us, that's exactly what she says. You treat her like family, but she doesn't see you as people." My mum below seemed dazed for a moment, as if vaguely waking up. "Chloe, what your sister just read, is it true?" Chloe panicked. "It's fake, all made up. Mum, do you believe her or me?" Seeing Mum hesitate again, I walked over and called Chloe using Mum's phone. Chloe's phone screen lit up, the caller ID showed old woman. I then called Chloe with my own phone. Her ID for me was old woman's bitch daughter. Mum's body jolted violently. She grabbed my arm tightly. Eleanor, Eleanor, you are my biological child, right? Make way, make way. Courier's here with an admission letter. The hotel manager came up from the first floor, leading someone, full of cheer. He didn't know what had happened yet, saying excitedly, "Just saw the courier outside delivering letters. Noticed one from Donghu University. So I quickly brought him up. Student Chloe, your admission letter has arrived." Hearing the letter had arrived, some color returned to Chloe's pale face. Donghu University was different from ordinary universities, called a university. But its students weren't ordinary school leavers, they were top talents who, for various reasons, hadn't attended conventional universities. They lacked formal qualifications, but had experience and wealth. Having these connections meant having one foot in upper-class circles. So being a student at Donghu University was more valuable than attending a standard top-tier university. This was Chloe's last resort. She snatched the admission letter from the courier, flaunting it triumphantly at me. "Eleanor, what was the use of all your scheming? Exposing me only made your mum sadder. That's all. See? The outcome between us is already decided. I can go to Donghu University in September. What about you?" I shrugged. "I'm going to study in September too." Chloe laughed. "You can fool others, but don't fool yourself. Study?" I saw with my own eyes your application portal was blank. "What are you going to study with?" "With an admission letter, of course." I looked at Chloe as if she were an idiot. "Should be any day now. Tracking shows it's nearby." Chloe didn't want to believe it, but was afraid I really could go. She grabbed the courier's bag, dumped all the letters on the floor, and started frantically searching through them. The courier was alarmed. "Hey, whose mail are you looking for?" Chloe snarled at him. "Is there one for Eleanor?" "Eleanor?" The courier thought for a moment. "Yes, but it's not on the floor, it's on me." The courier grinned because it's all in English and I couldn't understand it. I kept it separately in my pouch. Chloe impatiently snatched the English language letter from him. She didn't understand much English, but the envelope lacked a university logo. It clearly wasn't an admission letter. She laughed. "Eleanor, still pretending. This isn't an admission letter at all. Who knows what rubbish document you're using to fool people?" I nodded. "Right, of course it's not an admission letter. This is my student visa. My admission letter was sent to the embassy ages ago." The moment I finished speaking, Chloe froze. I took the letter back from her, opened it and pointed to the official stamp. "You might not understand all the English, but you can read this Chinese embassy stamp, right? I received a full scholarship to Oxford long ago. I've just been waiting for the paperwork to be processed. Today's celebration banquet. You can consider it as being for me." Chloe stood rooted to the spot, pointing at me, unable to speak for a long time. You? Then why did you even take the Gaokao?" I leaned closer and whispered in her ear. "Silly sister, it's only because you wanted to swap scores with me. So I specially went to the Gaokao Hall and scored 1 point for you." Chloe fainted from anger. After being checked at the hospital, the doctor was greatly surprised. Although her chronological age was 18, all her bodily functions were like those of a 40 or 50-year-old. But this time, Mum didn't dwell on it. She quickly returned from the hospital to the hotel to continue the banquet. Only now, the protagonist was me. "Eleanor, how could you keep something this big from even your mother?" Mum was both laughing and crying, touching my hair, then gripping my hand tightly. This time, I finally saw the love for me that had been missing in her eyes. "Mum, I wanted it to be a surprise." "Surprise?" I think it was more of a shock. Although she complained, her expression was full of distress. It was Mum's fault all these years. I kept thinking about compensating Chloe Kong and neglected your feelings. "Eleanor, can you forgive Mum?" Chloe's original surname wasn't Lin, it was Kong. Although her parents had passed away, she had other relatives who could have been her guardians, but she specifically targeted my mum. When Mum went to pay respects to her parents, she cried, saying she was a child with no father or mother. Mum's heart was so soft, she took her in. "Mum, regarding the accident, it wasn't Dad's fault nor yours, it was the drunk driver's. So stop torturing yourself with this. You don't owe Kong Miao Miao anything. Our Lin family doesn't know her." Hearing this, Mum burst into tears, held me tightly, and nodded vigorously. My acceptance to Oxford successfully restored my reputation. The head teacher approached me, drink in hand, smiling broadly. "Student Eleanor, this is your fault. Already with a foot in a world-renowned university, yet still taking the GAOKO. Our teachers' hearts were tied in knots because of you." I smiled, having prepared for so long. It would have been a pity not to take it. So I did. But I was just too tired during the exam and couldn't help falling asleep. The head teacher patted my shoulder. "Sleep is fine. Health comes first. Come, let's take a photo later. I'll have someone quickly put up congratulatory banners for you. They'll be hung at the school gate this afternoon." My celebration banquet was glorious and successful. Many people were puzzled. Why didn't I mention getting the Oxford offer earlier? Only I knew that if I had said it earlier, Chloe would have swapped it away. My rebirth was a secret. When I saw Chloe again, she was very weak. Lying on the white hospital sheets at first glance, she looked like a little old woman. Seeing me, she smiled. Eleanor, here to laugh at me? I picked up an apple and started peeling it slowly. She snorted coldly. I heard. You were preparing applications for overseas universities last term, hiding it for so long, and now you say it. Aren't you afraid I'll swap it? I took a crisp bite of the peeled apple. You can't swap anymore. I figured out the system's secret long ago. If an exchange fails 3 times, the system disappears. But the life force you paid is immediately forfeited entirely. I used 1 point to swap for your 200. You tried to swap more for less. First failure. You swapped the influencer's followers, but she took them back. Second failure. I made Mum see reason. Didn't truly accept you as her daughter. Your exchange failed. Third failure. Chloe shook her head. It seems you know everything about me. But you're wrong about one thing. Swapping identities with you was the first failure. Shortly after arriving at your house, I got the exchange system, but each swap cost life force. I was scared, so I never used it. Until later, I saw how good your mum was to you, although she was good to me too. I wasn't her biological child. I thought, if I could swap with you, become your mum's real daughter, that would be great. I was stunned. So her attempts at exchange started years ago, but she had never succeeded. All these years, although your mum treated me better and better, and you worse and worse, there was a bottom line in her heart, that you will always be her daughter. Eleanor, do you know what I envied most about you? Not your constant first place rankings, but that you had a mother who loved you so much. You won. I admit defeat. Leaving the hospital, I left a peeled apple behind. In September, I boarded a plane to the UK. A huge photo of me with the head teacher was displayed at the gate of my secondary school. The banner above the school still celebrated my acceptance to Oxford. The voices that had doubted and mocked me eventually turned to praise and admiration. And my mom, after raising me alone for so long, finally started her own life. She joined a middle-aged and senior tourism group and began traveling around the country with her sisters. This was the starting point of a new life.